So here we are leaving Bradwell. It's been a bloody lovely stay actually. I've got a new wind generator on loan by a chap called Alan. I've got a spare tiller pilot now, a drogue chute in case it gets really rough. AIS, thanks to David. Yeah, Kudu's fully loaded with kit. I've got another battery as well, so I've got 170 amp hours of juice. Talking of juice, the ability that has to go completely wrong. Mind you, the ability this has to go completely wrong is about equal, I imagine, for me anyway. There's some pretty big seas here. Just had to get reefer up quite a lot. The wind seems to have calmed down. Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm getting wet, very wet. I've bottled it. I'm going for Brightlingsea. It's a proper 4-7 out here, and I've just hit a couple of genuinely breaking waves, and I thought, fuck this. So I'm sure Kudu could do it, but it's not very comfortable at all, and I thought 6 hours of this. No, thank you. So I'm just goose winging my way back in. Corbies aren't made to go into the wind in this kind of weather. Ooh, bit of a surf. It's fun though. It's fun. It's fun. I just ran out of bollocks. Never mind. I'll get them back eventually. Better safe than sorry. As they say, there's old men and there's bald men. We were getting, I peaked at 6.9 knots over ground on the GPS. And that was against the tide. This is a bit better. The shelter that a bit of land gives you is just, I value it now. Yeah, so I've sailed my way into Brightlingsea. Right, so I'm going to see how far up this creek I can get up Brightlingsea. And then I'm going to put the anchor down. I have a feeling that I'm going to be putting the anchor down wherever I run aground, but there we go. I know that boat. I think that one belongs to someone else doing a video. So all good fun, and we're in the creek at the moment. This is against the tide, because the creek's draining, and I have 2 reefs in the main and no head sail. Here we go then. Right, 20 to 9 in the morning, and I've stopped. I've put the anchor down, but I really didn't need to, because I just ran aground, which I half expected anyway. I saw it was getting incredibly shallow, and I tried to bring the boat around, so as the creek is like kind of a gentle U shape, I didn't want to be facing up the creek because the boat will be heeled over a bit, which makes it uncomfortable on board. However, I failed, so we heeled over a bit and it's a bit uncomfortable on board. However, the worst bit is there is no water under the seacock for the sea toilet, and I had a vindaloo last night. This is not a pleasant time. Never mind. Note to self, don't eat vindaloo when you go single-handed sailing and run aground. When I was in Northumbridge, a Swedish lady gave me a recipe for some bread that I can make in a frying pan. And here's the mixture for it. I'm quite the little cook. Anyway, I'm gonna kind of, I don't know if it's gonna be very tasty. There's not a lot in it, but I'm gonna make myself some bread and make an egg sandwich, fried egg sandwich. Well, apart from getting, I've only just got most of it off. Apart from getting mixture all over my hands, which makes this now, I've changed my mind on how good of an idea it was, but so apart from doing that, it's kind of cooking away there. It's looking bread-like. Smells reasonably good. So yeah, let's see how it tastes. Well, there's the bread, completed and ready to eat, if it's edible. And there's the other half of it. A family recipe passed from generation to generation. 3 eggs in a frying pan. I went to move the egg and it went a bit stuck to the pan, so we now have scrambled egg. But you know, that's just as good. Improvisation. Turn a bad situation into a good one. Et voila. There we have it. The most amazing sandwich in the world. Homemade bread and scrambled egg. Actually, I just tried a little bit of the bread before and I have to be honest, it isn't too bad. If I put a bit of salt in it, it would have been perfect, to be honest. So there you go. Yum yum, lunchtime. Do some tomato sauce though. Right, the mainsail seems to have, it's flapping around a bit. I've tied it to the boom, but it seems to come loose in this wind, so I'm going to go outside to sort it out. Watch this. Yeah, 30 knots of wind. Oh, much better in here. It's 1 hour 50 minutes to high water, and kind of prepared the boat because we've got 30 knots of wind, and I'm going to cross over the Colne and over to Pyfleet because I'm fed up of staying on this mud, to be honest. So I think we're going to have a bumpy trip. Yeah, so when I stop, hopefully nearly floating. When I stop, I kind of get out all the camera equipment and do a bit of editing and download the photographs, and the laptop comes out and the radio comes out so I can get bored by the archers and all kinds of things. I cook, so the boat tends to get very, very messy, and so the first thing I have to do before I set off is give it a good tidy up, because anything that's left lying around will fly all over the place, especially in winds like today. Well, I'm not very happy. I've just arrived at Pyfleet and I forgot to wash out the copper soup before I set off, and so all my clothes and the bilges are covered in a sick-like substance that is copper soup. Oh, this is brutal.